Ladies and gentlemen, if I can tear you away from your conversations and your food very briefly, it's my pleasure to welcome you to this event to celebrate the launch of the New Europe 100, both those of you who are here in person in Sofia and those who I'm reliably informed are watching via video link from other New Europe 100 events around the region in Warsaw, Budapest, Prague and Bratislava. So welcome to you all. As you know, this is the fourth edition of the New Europe 100. It was set up 4 years ago, really with two goals. First, to promote the ideas of people in the region who are working to change politics or business or society for the better, and in particular, those who are doing so in an innovative or fresh way. And the second goal, which I think Wojciech will talk about in a bit more detail, is to create a network of this sort of vanguard of Central European creatives in the hope that through their contact with one another, they will get more ideas, which in turn can also make have a beneficial effect on the lives of people in the region. The winners each year are picked by a panel from Google, the Visegrad Fund, Res Publica, and the FT. And having been involved in the process this year, I can confirm that it's a very strong list in 2017. I started as the FT's Central Europe correspondent in June this year. And as someone new to the region, having the chance to be involved in this process of whittling down the 300 people on the short list to the 100 winners was a fascinating insight into both the dynamism of the region and also the incredible breadth of things that people here are working on. I mean, just to give you a couple of examples, from this year's list, we have people who have worked on everything from artificial intelligence to guide dog charities to fake news, which I'm sure you agree is an incredible range of activity. The results are all now published. They're on ft.com and also in a supplement of the paper, which hopefully is here. And if you have a spare moment, I would definitely encourage you to have a glance at those, because as I said, the winners this year are a very impressive bunch of people. As I'm sure you can imagine, coming up with such a list involves quite a lot of effort, and it wouldn't have been possible without the work of the Visegrad Fund, Res Publica, and Google. So on behalf of the FT, I'd like to thank them all very much for all that they've done on that front. And on that note, I'd like to hand over to Wojciech Przybylski, who will introduce this year's list on behalf of the of Res Publica.
Okay, James, thank you. So, dobry wieczór. This is real pleasure to be with you tonight in Sofia, and to be part of a network that is already there, because New Europe 100 is a network meeting today in Sofia, in Warsaw, in Prague, Bratislava, and Budapest. And let me also say happy Thanksgiving to those of you who are from the United States, those who don't join us today because of the Thanksgiving and they're American. I wanted to say why I like to be here. It's my third time in Sofia, and I like to be in Sofia and generally in the region. This story is about the region of Central Eastern Europe because we like to laugh so much. The part of the understanding of this laughter is how we understand the pessimist stories and the optimist stories. The pessimist stories is usually saying, the pessimist is usually saying, well, it's as hard as it gets. And the optimists say, oh no, it can be much worse. This is the laughter that we have and we share in Central Europe very often, because what Central Europe is. Some people say it's a geographical expression. The others often point out it's more a collection of worries. So what I like about this list, what I like about New Europe 100 and the network, is exactly the positive message of success that comes and is embodied in this region. This is, after all, a startup region. But it has its moments of greatness. This is one of them. This is the evening when we celebrate innovation, when we celebrate the courage to challenge status quo. We celebrate people who are on the list, who's been on the list for the last 4 years and also tonight. And at Respublika, you know, we are always following the optimist story. So we took a look at where this region is, where Central Europe with all this potential for innovation is. And we see that, well, it could be better. In the European Innovation Scoreboard, we're still below the below the average, and we have a long way to go. But with the right people, we have a quick way to go, and we see year to year, with people like those on the Europe 100, that this region is moving forward, it's changing, it's not only in business terms, but in terms of prosperity, in terms of the quality of local communities, and many people from Europe 100 changed the local communities for better. In terms of the politics and administration, there are a lot of those who are on the list that we want to point and to say we look up to them. And we take the example from people who are also on this year list. What I wanted to say at the very end is that it's all about individual success, but we learned also that the individual success comes with a teamwork. So on this year's list, we not only have individuals, but we have, as much as possible, teams of individuals we could identify who challenge the status quo together. And we believe that as of this year, the Europe 100 becomes more powerful, a tool, a network that collaborates together, that cooperates together, and moves the chances and the prospects of the future growth of this region even further. So again, welcome to so many Bulgarian Europe 100 challengers of this year. There are 7 of them with us tonight. You have their names and their stories, very short stories on the maps with the region overall. And let me say also thank you to many other challengers from previous years from Bulgaria. I encourage you to network tonight among ourselves, and tomorrow to network with the region and to make this potential really fulfilled. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Wojciech. And I'd now like to hand over to Beata to say a couple of words on behalf of the Visegrad Fund.
Thanks. Good evening. For me, it's the first time in Sofia, so I have to say that the very first impression is that the city is just beautiful. But the city is not the most important. The beauty is here in this room, and the beauty is the connection of the best minds. And I am so much personally happy to be here, to have a chance of meeting all of you, and to have a chance of getting inspired by you. As in the Visegrad Fund, what we do every day, we are trying to connect the dots. You saw our logo, it's about the dots, it's about connecting. We are trying to get ideas for the region, for the cooperation, for the neighborhood, the ideas that are moving all of us forward. And this will never happen without creativity of people like you. And what I like the most, Wojciech gave his version, but what I'm admiring the most is the vision that you have. That each and every project that is awarded by the nomination and then the choice to be on the list is always connected with a project that is visionary, and that I can say, being absolutely convinced that all of you are visionary, are stubborn, are challengers, are not giving up, and that's the biggest inspiration for the whole region. Not only for the Visegrad countries, but for the Central Europe in general. Thank you for this. Thank you for the inspiration. Please keep melting the better goods are coming from the network. So have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Beata. And now on behalf of Google, Arthur Wadaszewski is going to say a few words.
Thank you very much. I'm really grateful to our partners for being with us in this project, and even more grateful to be the last one at the stage when everything was said already. Yeah, so it's not easy, but I will start differently. Anybody in the room knows the TV series The 100? Yeah, I'm not very surprised. It's really crappy one. So for those that don't know it, it's about 100 young people dropped from the space on the post-apocalyptic Earth with the mission to make it a better place. Yeah? So this is not what we do with New Europe 100 challengers. The main difference is that in this case, we actually believe that we give them fantastic tools to make world a better place. In Google especially, we believe that every digital technology makes their efforts actually much easier and much more impactful. Yeah? So if you use technology smartly and you have great ideas, you actually can reach much more people. You can target much bigger audiences, no matter if you are business, NGO, or anything, or simply you want to share some ideas. If you embrace technology, you can do much, much more. Yeah? And this is something what I see every time whenever I travel in the region. Because beauty of our region is that we have fantastic, lovely countries, but most of them are relatively small. But people from those countries are great, talented, educated, with great ideas, and if they use digital technologies, and actually can reach people abroad in the whole world very, very easily. So this is great privilege and great thing that we have in current modern world, and I really encourage every one challenger here and every other people to use technology whenever you can to do great things around. Yeah? We have 100 laureates in this edition from 14 countries in the region, 7 of them from Bulgaria, so great Bulgaria for being so innovative. Yeah? 7 of laureates are coming from here. Super happy to be here, not my first time in Bulgaria, but first time in Sofia. I am impressed especially by beauty of buildings and fantastic November weather. When you come to Warsaw in November, it is not like that. Thank you very much and stay with us in the evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Arthur. Well, ladies and gentlemen, not quite everything has been said, but we're almost there. Seeing as we have so many interesting minds in the region, in the room tonight, we thought we'd quickly get a couple of them up on stage to talk about innovation. So if I could ask Matt Britton, please, from Google, Sasha Bezahanova, who's a previous challenger, and Lyubomir Yanchev, who's one of this year's challengers, to join me on stage for a quick chat, then we will get started. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. Maybe seeing as the theme tonight is innovation, it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on what makes Central Europe a good place to be an innovator. I'll start with you, Sasha.
I think in Central Europe and Central Eastern Europe, as we are in Bulgaria, is still a hunger, is curiosity of people that are very capable, and they think outside of the limited frames. And I think that this hunger is driving very good innovative solutions. We had a big event today. Some of the people in the room participated, and we've introduced this year's mapping of the startup ecosystem in Bulgaria, and I'll give only one figure that was resulting from the survey this year. 78% of the Bulgarian startups are producing innovative products for export and are selling on the international market. This is twice more than the traditional business. So the potential is here, the results are here, the examples are here, and we just need to do a little bit of extra work to really package in a proper way this extra asset to Europe and to the world that is produced in our countries from the region.
Thank you very much. Matt, how about you?
Well, I think it's the people. We have amazing, talented people, very good technical skills, I think, here and across much of Central and Eastern Europe. And we have the opportunity. I think because now anyone with a good idea and a smartphone can connect with 3.5 billion people or more. Actually, being in a small country is not a bad thing in that world, because you immediately think not about success in Sofia or success in Budapest, but actually the global audience. And that fuels more innovation because you connect with people who are different. So I've been blown away by some of the startup and entrepreneurs that I've met just in the last 24 hours with you. And I'm very enthusiastic. I would say that now is the moment, because we don't want to see the next generation of success stories being Chinese and American. We want to see them being European, and I think I would back some of the talent here to be amongst them.
Ljubomir, how about you?
Well, I do come from the startup world. I should say Bulgaria, it's a great place to create products. It's not a great place for business, however. What I mean by that is that only 5% of our revenue of our company has been generated in Bulgaria. This makes me happy on the side that, yeah, we're bringing fresh capital from other countries to Bulgaria, but this makes me kind of sad, because it means that people don't understand what smart home is. In the meantime, I believe we've done something incredible here. We created 9 products with 1 million euro, which in a different country, in Germany, for example, you'd need at least 30 million for 9 products. So yeah, I believe I'm at the right place with my team here. Amazing people, as you said, and I think this is going to be the success, like the success way.
Can I just say, you've literally raised the roof already, which is pretty good.
That's for me.
Fantastic. And as Wojciech brought up the topic of networks earlier, I mean, how do you think that the New Europe 100 network can help ensure that there's innovation in the region continues? Sasha.
I'm a firm believer and promoter of open networks. I'm doing this 4 years now as a full-time job after founding MoveBG, which is about communities, about open networks, and building bridges between different community centers that bring people for professional or for cause idea. And it cannot be different, because digital connectedness gives us a unique chance to go beyond the physical circle of people that we know, but to find supporters of ideas and to build up our community, virtual and physical, via the net. I think that the future of the world is in the open communities, and democratization of access to the information gives us unique chance to exchange and to combine. And New Europe 100 is a great initiative that really creates a momentum and possibly good synergies among those challengers that are tracing the path of the new culture of sharing, collaboration, and co-creation in East Central Europe. I think it's good that we have this event in Bulgaria tonight.
Well, I think every time I travel in Eastern Europe, I meet graduates of the New Europe 100, and I think one thing that's really important is role models and case studies. So somebody you see who's like, oh, this is somebody just like me. Maybe I could do that too. It is possible. So I think, highlighting talent that are doing great things is really important. And the second thing I think is, ironically, in this digital world where we can work from anywhere and be connected, being physically together at times is really important. And I think, of course, more connected world, ideas can flow around the world faster, but actually learning from each other and ideas colliding is really important. There's a British writer, and he puts it slightly crudely. He says that innovation, Matt Ridley, this is who wants to read his book, innovation is just ideas having sex. And the more ideas collide, the more innovation that comes. So that's one of the reasons why these lists and these groups are so important. And I just want to congratulate people for being a part of this and their role in this success story.
Nice. I would like to build up on this one. We do have some successful examples here in Bulgaria. A good thing that they're doing is that they're investing in other people here. I feel like the movers of capital right now here in Bulgaria are not as much as we could handle, talent-wise. But it's great that a lot of the people that recently made an exit in their company are reinvesting into other startups here.
Well, thank you all very much indeed for a very interesting discussion. As Napoleon once said, an army marched on its stomach, and I'm sure the same is true of entrepreneurs. So I'll leave you now to return to your food and your conversation, but perhaps first you could give a round of applause for our 3 participants. Thank you very much.
Should we take a photograph? Take a photograph for the guy while he's there.